Good morning, everyone. Hi, a very good morning to all of you. I would request that everyone take their respective seats. So, especially the students, they have their seats specifically marked with their roll numbers, right? I would request no one in the hall to be standing. So, you find your respective seat and be seated there, speaking of the students. And parents, of course, they can seat in the respective sections. So, nobody should be standing. uh, along the edge, or at least like leave the front section totally in order. The music team also can be backstage. Is the music team here? The music team members? Just to walk you through the program very briefly. So we will start at 11. So, and we will start with, uh, so as the academic procession, which is in the next room, it will come. Meanwhile, all of you will be requested to be standing. And as the academic procession takes the stage, till the time they are at their respective seats, all the audience members will be standing. After that, Vande Mataram will be sung by the music team. After that, everyone will take their respective seats. Following that, the uh, chairperson BOG will declare the convocation open, followed by the institute report by our director and introduction of the guest of honor, Shri Prahlad Joshi. And then he will invite Shri Prahlad Joshi on the stage for his address. After that, the medals will be awarded, right? So the President of India gold medal, the director's gold medal, the silver medals, and the uh, the cash award, Om Prakash Goyal and Sevati Devi Goyal award. The three medalists who are present are requested to take the seats at the edge. Yeah, you're already there. And after collecting the degrees, you will take the respective seats with the department, right? The protocol remains the same. So all of you will queue up before your, little before your turn comes. Your respective marshals will guide you for that. And you will be queued up at the edge of the stage. And the first person can be on the stage. They can already climb the stairs. And the rest can be just waiting, right? So we try to reduce the time to climb up the stairs as far as possible. And then you walk to the center of the stage where the medals will be awarded. Momentarily, you pose to the cameras. For that is true for medal holders and also the degree awardees. So you will walk. Momentarily, you will pose to the still photography camera, and then you will continue walking, right? And yeah. So after the medals are awarded, the chief guest will be introduced and his speech will be, uh, yeah, he will give his convocation address. And our chief guest is Professor P. Balram. And after that, the handing over of the degree certificates will begin, right? It will start from PhD to MS to BTech. Within BTech, it will be first PhD and MS are clubbed together, irrespective of departments. Right? The BTech degrees will be first CSE branch, followed by electrical, followed by mechanical. Again, your marshals will be there to guide you when your turn comes. So when your turn comes, you will, in the same order that you are seating, which is also the order in which you will be handed over the certificates, you will make a queue, you will walk to the edge of the stairs and be waiting there. And finally, we will end with the pledge after handing over of all the degree certificates. So just to, I think the marshals will also already have informed you about the walkways, right? The pathways that you will take while collecting the degree and after you step down the stage till the time you take your respective seats. So the idea is that wherever you are seated, right, we will only use two aisles to walk front or back. Okay. So this is the aisle that we will use, the last one, right? And same is the case there, over there, we will use the second last aisle, which means that any student who is sitting here, for example, UG mechanical, right? So you will take the nearest aisle, either this way or that way. You will walk backwards. The last row is kept empty. There is no chairs there. The last row is exclusively for your walking. You will go all the way till the second last aisle. You will walk downwards and then come next to the stairs. And then you will, after you are on the stage, awarded the degree, then you walk, then you get down from the last stairs, not the one in front that is blocked. And after you get down there, again, even if you are sitting here, you are not walking directly, right? You will take the last aisle, you will walk backwards all the way, and then come down, take the respective row that you are seated in. I hope that is clear. And with that, I think with that, we will wait for the procession to come, and the anchor will guide you with the further steps. Thank you.
Mahodaya, Mahodaya, Mahodaya. Kindly pay attention to the following announcements. Kindly switch off your mobile phones and maintain silence. Any sort of cheering, throwing of utriyas in the air, and flash chromatography is strictly prohibited throughout the convocation ceremony. I request you all to kindly maintain decorum throughout. The academic procession will enter the hall shortly. I request everyone to, to stand up and remain standing till the members occupy their seats. I welcome you all to the fourth convocation of IIT Dharwad. I request our institute music team to sing Vande Mataram and everyone to stand for the same.
वन्दे मातरम् वन्दे मातरम् सुजलां सुफलां मलयज शीतलाम् दश्य श्यामलां मातरम् वन्दे मातरम् शुभ्रज्योत्स्ना पुलकितयामिनी फुल्लकुसुमित द्रुमदलशोभिनी सुहासिनी सुमधुरभाषिणी सुखदां वरदां मातरं वन्दे मातरम् वन्दे मातरम् वन्दे मातरम्
Everyone may kindly be seated. I request the respected chairperson of our Institute Board of Governors to declare the convocation open.
I declare the fourth convocation of IIT Dharwad open.
I request our respected director to kindly share his report on our institute, introduce the honorable guest of honor, Sri Prahlad Joshi, and invite him to deliver his address.
सुप्रभात एवं धन्यवाद. It is good morning and thank you. Swagatam, that is welcome to the fourth convocation of IIT Dharwad, and my Abhinandan, that is congratulations to the graduating students. Our institute has the honor of welcoming our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji for the Lokarpan and Udghatan, that is inauguration, dedication of our campus to the nation on Sunday, the 12th March 2023, just about 5.5 months back. It was a moment of immense pride and satisfaction for the entire IIT Dharwad community to see our Honorable Prime Minister, Pradhan Mantri ji, graciously accepting our Uttariya as a symbol of his goodwill and appreciation and wearing it throughout the long inauguration function on that day. The Honorable Prime Minister, during his speech, highlighted the cultural richness, the industrial prowess, and delightful weather that Dharwad, the town of Dharwad, is renowned for, along with the famous Vishwa Prasiddha or worldwide famous Dharwad Pedas, so thus justifying its choice uh, as the location of IIT for Karnataka. We have started operations in our permanent campus since last December and are enthusiastically looking forward to taking charge and shifting the functionaries within just a few months. It could be few weeks also. So this has also allowed us to co-share the present Valmi Transit Campus, hostels and classrooms with another university, that is the newly come up Karnataka campus of the National Forensic Science University, which is an institute of national importance under the Graha Mantralaya, Bharat Sarkar, that is Home Ministry of Home Affairs, Government of India. The first and the second batch of graduates from our institute attended a virtual joint convocation in the year 2021. The third convocation was held in physical mode in our Valmi Transit Campus auditorium on 11th September last year. This is the first time that our institute's convocation is happening physically in our newly constructed permanent campus, and in this very convocation hall of 600 plus seating capacity. It's a matter of pride for all of us. As a premier technical institute of higher learning with national importance, IIT Dharwad is committed to a righteous curriculum that fulfills academic requirements in addition to orienting our students to practical training in various industries. Our goal is to equip our students with a comprehensive skill set that enables them to strive for their entrepreneurial ambitions with confidence and vigor. In less than a year, the IIT Dharwad family has grown with an addition of 26 new full-time faculty members across its 10 departments, which takes the total faculty strength to 90, inclusive of 7 visiting professors or professors of practice. Out of these 7, 5 are in fact staying full-time with us and guiding us. We are also having we also have inducted 25 new staff members, including 3 newly appointed assistant registrars, with one of our junior superintendent being upgraded or being one of the 3 assistant registrars. Our student strength has crossed a 4-figure mark, that is 1,000, and present number is 1074. IIT Dharwad welcomed the new batch of students for the academic year, that is this current academic year 23-24. In just less than a month ago, a total of 249 new undergraduate students, 77 postgraduate students have started, which includes PhD students also, have started their academic journey with us. The classes have started on time, that is in the designated week one. and classes for both the first and second year undergraduate students are running in this central learning theater in the 300 seater capacity. Further, a few laboratory classes that such as hands-on engineering laboratory, software systems laboratory have also commenced in the permanent campus. For the first time, we have housed 16 students for the West Zone IITs, namely IIT Bombay, Gandhinagar, Goa, and Dharwad, as the preparatory students who would undergo a year-long preparatory course and would join the undergraduate programs in their respectively allocated IITs. And out of these 16 students, 15 are Divyang, and we have a special this one of housing them during their preparatory course in this year. This academic year onwards, the institute has started a 2-year Master of Technology program in electrical engineering offered from the Department of Electrical, Electronics and Communication Engineering, IIT Dharwad. And IIT Dharwad is also now formally announced as a quality improvement program, that is QIP center, by AICT, that is All India Council for Technical Education, giving scope for government, government aided and private engineering college faculty members to enroll and improve their quality through enhancement of academic qualifications either at the master's or at the doctoral levels. The institute has recently started Institute Colloquium series, and the first talk was on the topic titled Nearly Free Green Sustainable Electrical Power for All by Chair Professor Rajendra Singh, who is Hauser Bank's Distinguished Chair Professor of Electrical, Computer and Automotive Engineering in Clemson University, Clemson, South Carolina, USA. So, which is also alma mater to me as well as to IIT Tirupati Director, my fellow IIT Tirupati Director. As an IIT, we are extremely proud of our Indian Space Research Organization in successfully spearheading the safe landing of our spacecraft consisting of Vikram lander Pragyan rover at the south pole of the moon, the very first country to do so. IIT Dharwad research teams have already had and or are having 2 ISRO-sponsored research projects. Additionally, Dr. K. Radhakrishnan, former chairman of ISRO, was our chief guest in the last year's convocation. Recently, his successor and another former ISRO chairman, Dr. A.S. Kiran Kumar, visited our permanent campus and appreciated it wholeheartedly. In Uttara Karnataka, that is North Karnataka, farming is the primary source of income for most of the people, but the economic exploitation of farmers and the lack of adequate irrigation and water percolation systems, rainwater harvesting systems, pose significant challenges. To this end, IIT Dharwad faculty and students are doing research and development projects in collaboration with esteemed organizations aimed at leveraging engineering principles to reduce costs and increase the benefits as well as yield through making the slogan more crop per drop into a reality. By adopting a holistic approach, we aim to provide farmers with self-sufficient and cost-effective solutions for their water and energy needs, which will undoubtedly enrich their lives and contribute to the growth of the Indian economy in general and Karnataka economy or North Karnataka economy in particular. Further, IIT Dharwad has received a 5 crore rupees grant, fund from the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, that is MeitY, under Chip to Startup scheme. The project is basically on designing a tire pressure monitoring chip in partnership with a startup company, Aryabhata Circuits and Research Labs Private Limited, aiming for technology readiness level, that is TRL 9. Some of the faculty members of our institute have already handled or are handling sponsored research projects totaling rupees 38.5 crores since the inception of the institute, and out of this amount, little more than rupees 18 crores were sanctioned in just the last 1 year or so. Consultancy projects worth rupees 1.8 crores have also been taken up by the faculty members of our institute. We have also received corporate social responsibility, that is CSR donations worth rupees 7.5 crores from various agencies. 4 of our faculty members have received the prestigious SERB, that is Science and Engineering Research Board, International Research Experience, which is abbreviated as SIRE, SIRE, fellowships during this academic year to visit well-established universities abroad. We have also fostered a new culture of inclusivity that enables us to provide our students with holistic, all-round development opportunities, showcasing their skills and helping them thrive by adding value to their life during and beyond their campus stay. IIT Dharwad established the Global Center of Excellence in Affordable and Clean Energy, uh, abbreviated as GCOE ACE last year. The center is focused on developing a model clean energy village, that is Garag, just 7 kilometers away from the transit campus, upskilling the youth, and innovation and incubation support in collaboration with the Office of the Principal Scientific Advisor, Government of India, and Selco Foundation. A global center of excellence in Indian knowledge systems, GCOE IKS, has recently been established, which has started collaborating not only locally within the city of Dharwad, known as Vidya Kashi or the Center of Learning, with special emphasis on music, literature, art, and culture, but also nationally and to some extent internationally. In the next 5 years, IIT Dharwad plans to establish collaborations with universities and other research organizations in Australia, Germany, Israel, Japan, USA, and many more that is countries, wherein significant efforts are being made in linking traditional Indian or indigenous knowledge to modern science and technology, especially in the fields of biosystems engineering, environmental or ecological conservation, ensuring food security, health security through traditional practices and traditional medicines. We have launched our quarterly newsletter, Sambandh, from this calendar year, which will serve as a platform for showcasing our many talents and achievements to the larger scholarly community. Sambandh emphasizes on building connections and fostering relationships, promising to be an integral part of IIT Dharwad's cultural fabric. Sambandh embodies our mutual commitment to solving complex problems, pursuing solutions, fostering growth, and building robust relationships. Our mantra, Samasya through Sankalp and Samadhan to Samriddhi and Sakar, that is realization, Sambandh corroborates our dedication to these 6S vision for our town, also for our region, and also for our state and nation. When Pradhan Mantri Modi ji inaugurated our new permanent campus, he suggested that to use Japanese technology to increase the vegetation density around the campus. The vegetation will be planted on the lines of Vriksha Nakshatra, that is vegetation constellations mentioned in Narad Purana, that will imbibe Indian traditional values to achieve ecological conservation and also serve as stress buster to all of us. So this is the best way of voluntary afforestation. Recently, and most of you know that we already are in the middle of around 65 to 70 acres of forest. Recently, we celebrated the World Environment Day, that is Vishwa Paryavaran Divas, on 5th and 6th of June 2023 by planting 20 out of the 27 common trees listed as Vriksha Nakshatra. The event was successfully conducted with the active participation and the involvement of our National Service Scheme team. On 20th and 21st of June 2023, we celebrated the International Yoga Day, that is Antarrashtriya Yoga Divas, with the active participation from students, staff, and faculty members. Additionally, banking on the rich musical, art, literature related heritage of Dharwad, we plan to start an extracurricular activity on the lines of SPICMACE, that is Society for Promotion of Indian Classical Music and Culture amongst youth, as well as the National Cultural Academy, that is NCA, aimed at promoting vocal, music, instrumental music, classical dance, etc., for the first year UG students in the coming batches, in the coming years. These proposed activities will be in addition to their currently running courses, including NSS and NSO, that is National Sports Organization. We also plan to start National Cadet Corps, that is NCC activities, in the near future. Further, learning or conversing in classical Indian languages like Samskrita and Kannada will also be promoted among the students, staff, and faculty. Our graduating students have done exceedingly well in their curricular as well as extracurricular activities. The students have secured their first job mainly from placement season facilitated by our career development cell. Many students have also opted for higher studies. The fourth convocation booklet has the relevant details on this front. With all of our collective efforts, let us try to make our new slogan given by our senior outreach advisor, Professor S. Sadgopan, Namma IIT, number one IIT. That is our IIT, number one IIT, a reality very soon. To our bright and motivated students who are graduating now, I sincerely urge you to stay focused, work tirelessly, and strive for excellence in your future pursuits. Through your hard work and perseverance, you have the potential to achieve personal fulfillment in conjunction with enhancing the prestige of our esteemed institution as well as nation. You have the distinction of being the first batch of graduating students who will be taking pledge in Samskrita language in Bahuvachan, that is plural language, plural number, the mother of most of the Indian languages. Incidentally, today is also the beginning of the Samskrita Saptaha, that is Samskrita week, just 3 days prior to the Vishwa Samskrita Divas, that is World Sanskrit Day, on Shravana Purnima, which happens to be on Thursday of this week, that is on 31st August in 2023. Our Prime Minister mentioned about this in yesterday's Man Ki Baat also, that most of you might have heard about it. Now it is my great pleasure and honor to introduce our guest of honor for the fourth convocation ceremony, Manniya Shri Prahlad Joshi ji, Union Minister for Parliamentary Affairs, Coal and Mines. Shri Prahlad Joshi is a Lok Sabha member of our parliament, that is Sansad, from Dharwad constituency in Karnataka. He is a popular leader and an able administrator known for his commitment, dedication towards social, regional, and national issues. A high performing union minister in the Modi 2.0 cabinet, he is shouldering the responsibilities of three major portfolios of coal, mines, and parliamentary affairs. Shri Joshi ji is a household name in Karnataka and is an immensely popular leader in Dharwad constituency, from where he has been elected as a Lok Sabha member uh, for the continuously with thumping majorities for the fourth consecutive term, starting from his first term starting in the 2004. Sheer commitment and extensive work at the grassroots level endeared him to the masses and led him to earn the tag Man of the Masses. Moved by dedication and concern for his constituency, as well as the state of Karnataka and our country, Honorable Prime Minister of India, Modi ji, has rightly allocated three important ministries' responsibility on his able shoulders. As a Union Minister of Parliamentary Affairs, he has played a key role in the passing of crucial bills such as abrogation of Article 370 and Citizenship Amendment Bill in the Parliament, among many other progressive bills of national importance. A leader par excellence, Sri Joshi ji is also working diligently to instill a sense of pride in our constitutional values and raising awareness among the masses. After taking over as the Minister of Coal and Mines in 2019, in addition to the parliamentary affairs, under Modi ji's leadership, Sri Joshi ji has spearheaded a series of path-breaking initiatives and policy interventions which has led to unlocking the true potential of the coal and mining sector to build a self-reliant India, that is Atmanirbhar Bharat. The recently launched Australia India Critical Minerals Research Hub AIC MRH is one such major initiative. Shri Joshi ji has been contributing immensely towards strengthening the public sector undertakings under his portfolio, including Coal India Limited and its subsidiaries, as well as other S1 public sector PSUs like NALCO, National Aluminium Company, Mineral Exploration Corporation Limited, MECL, Neyveli Lignite Corporation or NLC, HCL Coal International Private Limited, that is HCIPL. Besides, he had several parliamentary committees that make the critical decisions having impact on the growth and development of the nation. In the 14th Lok Sabha, he was nominated to serve various standing committees on chemicals, fertilizers, transport, culture, consultative committee on finance. In the 15th Lok Sabha, he was a member of standing committee on railways. He was also recently nominated to estimates committee, member of consultative committee on urban development. Shri Prahlad Joshi was a member of the delegation on empowerment of women to UNO, as a part of which Shri Joshi ji also addressed UN General Assembly. He was lauded for his views. He is also elected as member of Tobacco Board and is contributing immensely to the same. Shri Joshi ji believes in Atmanirbhar Bharat, which can propel and fast track our country's rise to the league of superpowers. It is this belief that Joshi ji has been the driving force behind some of the major policy reforms under the Ministry of Coal and Mines, including the landmark interventions like introduction of commercial coal mining, amendment of the MMDR, that is Mines and Minerals Development and Regulation Act, to ensure allocation of mineral resources through auction and competitive bidding, ensuring transparency and better governance, putting in place single window clearance system to ensure ease of doing business, auctioning abandoned mines on revenue sharing basis, and providing a one-time window, or a single window to public sector undertakings for surrendering non-operational coal mines. Steps which will go a long way in strengthening the ecosystem in coal and mine sector and simultaneously helping fulfill energy demands of the country. His progressive politics have also helped state governments in general and Karnataka state government fetch higher share of royalty and revenue, while also efficiently managing the allocation for welfare and development of the mining affected areas and people under the District Mineral Foundation funded Pradhan Mantri Khanij Kshetra Kalyan Yojana. Sri Joshi ji has always fought for the causes of his constituency, state, and the nation. He has always displayed compassion for the poor and downtrodden. So there are several developmental works undertaken by him, and it will be difficult to list all of them. To name a few are the development of national highway between Hubballi Hospet, Hubballi Haveri, Hubballi Bengaluru, Hubballi Dharwad, six laning of the bypass. Landmark project uh, is the construction of a flyover on Rani Chennamma Circle in Hubballi. Hubballi Dharwad Smart City Development Work, development projects under Amrut, that is Atal Mission for Rejuvenation and Urban Transformation Scheme. Hubballi Airport is raised to international standards through providing air connectivity to different parts of India. Under the PM Swastha Suraksha Yojana, well-equipped 200-bed super specialty hostel has been already dedicated to the public and is now functional. Under Jal Jeevan Mission, a comprehensive drinking water project on Malaprabha River is in progress. Hubballi railway station is raised to international standards, and it is now the longest platform in the world, which was also dedicated to the nation on the same day as the dedication of our permanent campus. While Dharwad railway station has also been renovated just a few months back. A comprehensive sports complex is being built in Hubballi under Khelo India and Smart City projects. An international standard sports complex and swimming pool at Dharwad is in progress under the corporate social responsibility activities involving ONGC, is the Oil and Natural Gas Corporation, NMDC, National Minerals Development Corporation, and GAIL, Gas Authority of India Limited. establishing Lalit Kala Academy regional office, and so on. His untiring efforts on the ground make Sri Prahlad Joshi ji an endearing personality who is very active as a social worker. He is also contributing liberally and is engaged in providing free midday meals uh, uh, in the state of Karnataka, and which feeds nearly 1 lakh school children every day through Akshay Patra. Sri Joshi ji is a self-made man. He did not aspire for any government or company job. On the other hand, he, together with a few like-minded friends, established a small-scale industry called Vibhava Chemicals because of the quality of himself and his friends who are also partners, such as honesty, integrity, etc. This industry has grown substantially. He also takes interest in espousing the cause of business fraternity and has been serving as a member Karnataka Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Hubballi. Born on 27th November 1962 in Vijaypura, Karnataka, Sri Joshi ji comes from a humble and respectable family. Besides his social and political interest, he is a voracious reader and has extensive interest in Indian classical music and cricket. So, with these few words, I just I'll take your leave. Dhanyavad.
Now we request our honorable guest of honor to please switch. So now.
Professor Shri P. Balram, Padma Bhushan awardee and the former director of Indian Institute of Science, Sri Vinayak Chatterjee, Chairman Board of Governors, IIT Dharwad, my very closest friend and director of the IIT, Shri Venkapaya Desai ji, other dignitaries on the dais, and all other my dear young students who are passing and going to become graduate and going to receive the graduation certificate from renowned researcher Padma Bhushan awardee from P. Balramji. I congratulate you at the very beginning and also greeting to the all eminent personality present today here. And it is always a very pleasure to be back here at the campus. Actually, मैं लास्ट ईयर कॉन्वोकेशन के लिए मैं आया था इधर. मुझे आने का मन नहीं था, लेकिन ये नया कैंपस माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी उद्घाटन के बाद तो आप लोग कैसे रह रहे ये देखने के लिए आए हो. मैं बहुत ज़्यादा लंबा भाषण देना मैं नहीं चाहता हूँ. एंड एक्चुअली इन ब्रिंगिंग दिस ऑल्सो along with many other educationists, we tried a lot, and I am so happy that today IIT Dharwad is having its own campus, and it has come up very well. And it's someone who comes here, even if they come from the few oldest IITs of the country, if they see this campus, they feel that they should study here once again. They should come back. In such a fashion, it has come out well, and I'm so happy that very shortly you are going to shift totally here. And I congratulate once again today all the students and also the parents for raising the child and standing proud parent when your child is recognized nationally and internationally. IIT Dharwad is recognized nationally and internationally. IIT Dharwad has made a distinct name for itself in the short time, whether it is in the establishment of Global Center for Excellence in Affordable Clean Energy or Space Data Science Lab. The institute has carved the identity for itself. As you know, Chandrayana success, and as mentioned by director, we are the first country to land at the south pole of the moon. तो सारे दुनिया अभी भारत के तरफ देख रहे हैं. बहुत ज्यादा प्रदेश और national international leaders are praising the Indian capacity today, and I'm quite confident that even some of you will continue your research and you will reach to such a height because India has got tremendous opportunity now. This is why I have high hopes from the students graduating from this institute. I am confident that the graduates from this esteemed institute will go to contribute significantly to the nation's progress, thus providing Vidyadhanam Sarvadhanam Pradhanam, means wealth of knowledge is the chief of all wealth. On March 12 of this year, while dedicating this institute to the nation, Pradhan Mantri Narendra Modi ji has said, new campus of IIT in Dharwad will facilitate quality education and it will nurture the young mind for the better tomorrow. And I am confident a better tomorrow because the bright minds graduating today will play a key role in making India 5 trillion economy. Today we talk about the building of the new India because we are confident of our abilities. हम 2 ट्रिलियन economy reach होने के लिए, to reach the 2 trillion economy, it took almost 2 years, and now we are almost 3 trillion economy, and we are going to become 5 trillion economy very shortly, and today we are the 5th largest economy and we will be the 3rd largest economy in the world very shortly. And we should be also proud कि हमने जिन लोग हमारे ऊपर 200 साल राज किए थे, ऐसे ब्रिटिशर को पीछे डाल के हमने 5th largest economy बन गए, वो 6th largest economy. And now we are trying to create opportunities to all our brilliant young minds. पहले 3, 4, 5, 6 IITs होते थे, आज 16, 17 IITs हो गए, 23 IITs हो गए. तो इसके कारण number of people who are coming out of the graduate from the IIT has also naturally increased. Because we are 140 crores country. दुनिया में हम सबसे बड़ी आबादी के विषय में in terms of population, we are the largest country in the world today. And talent and intelligence, intelligent quotient, इन सब चीजों में हम कोई कम नहीं है जी. तो दुनिया में बहुत बड़े कंपनी आप चला रहे हैं, वो सब भारतीय है. We should be very proud of this. That means we have capacity, we have ability, बट हमको अपॉर्चुनिटी नहीं मिलता था। ये 40 करोड़ में कुछ 700-800 लोगों को अपॉर्चुनिटी मिलता था आईआईटी में जाने के लिए। जब वेंकैया जी इधर ही थे हुबली धारवाड़ में, तो जब उनको आईआईटी में सीट मिला था, हमारा इतने खुश हो गया था, ये हमारा दोस्त आईआईटी चले गए, सम्मान सब हो गया था उस टाइम। अभी तो बहुत लोगों को आईआईटी मिलता है, एंड यू शुड बी वेरी हैप्पी अबाउट इट। सो मेनी पीपल आर गेटिंग अपॉर्चुनिटी, अदरवाइज प्रीवियसली इतना रिस्ट्रिक्टिव था। मेडिकल कॉलेज, देश में मेडिकल कॉलेज बहुत चाहिए, डॉक्टर्स बहुत चाहिए। डॉक्टर्स के विलेज में तो इन रूरल एरिया डॉक्टर्स आज रहते ही नहीं हैं, लेकिन हमारे पास 60 वर्ष में 380 मीन्स 380 मेडिकल कॉलेजेस वेयर देयर। तो हमको क्यों मेडिकल कॉलेज ज्यादा नहीं करना, ये सोचा ही नहीं। बट टुडे in last 9 years 250 medical college have been added and more than 50,000 medical seats are, पहले 54,000 था, आज 1,04,000 medical seats are available for our young students and they can contribute. Make in India, आप तो आईआईटी ने बहुत पढ़ते हैं, हम तो ऐसे लोग हो बहुत ज्यादा नहीं पढ़ते, आपसे लोगों से सुन सुन के हम बात करते हैं। तो आप थोड़ा पिछले का हिस्ट्री स्टडी करिए। आफ्टर पोस्ट इंडिपेंडेंस हमारा सोच क्या चलता था? वेदर वी शुड फॉलो इंग्लैंड, वेदर वी शुड फॉलो अमेरिका, वेदर वी शुड फॉलो रशिया, चाइना। आज रशिया में बता रहे हैं हम भी भारत जैसा मेक इन इंडिया को फॉलो करना है, वी शुड फॉलो द इंडियन मॉडल। क्यों? मेक इन इंडिया का मजाक उड़ाते थे, लेकिन मेक इन इंडिया हैज क्रिएटेड अपॉर्चुनिटीज। आई एम नॉट ट्राइंग टू शोकेस अचीवमेंट ऑफ माय गवर्नमेंट अंडर द लीडरशिप ऑफ मोदी, but how a thinking and the approach of the leadership can change the situation of the country and we can use the opportunity. हम अपॉर्चुनिटी को यूज करते हैं। ये तो मैं अपने अचीवमेंट बताने के लिए आपके सामने ये मैं नहीं रख रहा हूं, मैं इसीलिए रख रहा हूं ये सब पॉलिसी चेंजेस के कारण। जो हम एक सपना देख रहे हैं विकसित भारत, डेवलप्ड इंडिया, वो डेवलप्ड इंडिया में यंग ब्रिलियंट लोग, भारत में एजुकेटेड यंग ब्रिलियंट नॉलेजेबल शार्प रिसर्चर, इनोवेशन करने वाले, एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप स्किल जिसके पास है, ऐसे लोग हमको चाहिए, भारत में ही चाहिए। क्योंकि मैं आपको आज एक बताने के आया हूं, इन कमिंग फ्यू इयर्स, आने वाले दिनों में जो दुनिया के नीड्स है, द नीड्स ऑफ द वर्ल्ड, either in service sector or in merchandise sector, that has to be fulfilled by India alone. That situation is going to come. दुनिया में जो कुछ भी हम चाहते, हमारे पास काम करने के लिए सक्षम लोग हैं, उनको हम स्किल में डेवलपमेंट करना चाहिए। वी नीड टू डेवलप देयर स्किल। हमारे पास अच्छे रिसर्च है, उनको अपॉर्चुनिटी देना चाहिए। हमारे पास एंटरप्रेन्योर है, उनको तो फाइनेंशियल असिस्टेंस एंड सपोर्ट सिस्टम हमको खड़ा करना है। ये सब चीजों में आज के दिन में सरकार आप जैसे लोगों को फैसिलिटेट करके आपको देश के सेवा में लगाने का काम के बारे में पहली बार इस बार सोच चल रहा है। इसके कारण हमने आईआईटी ज्यादा किया, आईआईएम ज्यादा किया, मेडिकल कॉलेज ज्यादा किया है। और देश में जो इसके लिए इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर चाहिए, वो भी इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर खड़े करने के लिए हमारे बहुत कोशिश चल रहा है। और इसरो में भी आज जो हुआ है उसके क्रेडिट का लेने का सवाल किसी का नहीं है। तो इसरो जो साइंटिस्ट, आप जैसे जो साइंटिस्ट, आप आज के ग्रेजुएट्स है, आपसे पहले जो ग्रेजुएट्स होके उधर रिसर्चर होके उधर सक्सेसफुली काम कर रहा है, तो आप उन लोगों का एक क्रेडिट है। लेकिन मैं ये कहना चाहता हूं, इसके लिए जो कुछ भी एक अच्छे वातावरण खड़ा करना चाहिए, वो वातावरण आज देश में पैदा हुआ है। 389 हमने सैटेलाइट लॉन्च किया है, 389 सैटेलाइट एंड 104 satellite at a time we have launched. That is only country in the world, and that's also we have brought in so many policy changes. इसमें स्टार्टअप ही नहीं था। स्पेस सेक्टर में there was no startups. I think many scientists are sitting here, and from before to 14 बहुत मुश्किल से 4 था। Today we have more than 200 startups in the space sector itself, and India is housing more than 1 lakh startup today. 1 lakh. And the number of startups, in the comparison in 2014 to 15, 40% of the patents, पहले जो पेटेंट होता था उससे 40% आज ज्यादा हो गया है। Our number of patents being granted have also increased 5-fold. In Global Innovation Index, India now it is in 46th position, and our rank is 46, and just 9 years back it was 81st rank. I mean, National Research Foundation, huge amount, 51,000 crore initial allocation. With initial allocation, National Research Foundation अभी 3-4 सप्ताह पहले स्थापित हुआ है। और ये इनोवेशन के लिए, रिसर्च के लिए, अनुसंधान के लिए तो पहले से ही एक एटमॉस्फेयर क्रिएट करना, इसके लिए 10,000 अटल टिंकरिंग लैब्स हैव बीन एस्टैब्लिश्ड इन द वेरियस स्कूल्स. And in 2014, only 12 Indian universities were listed in the QS World Ranking, and today 45 universities have been ranked in the QS World Ranking, Indian universities. तो इसलिए मैं आपको ग्रेजुएशन के बाद पोस्ट ग्रेजुएशन तो करते हैं, कुछ लोग करते हैं, कुछ लोग नहीं करते हैं, बट आई वुड अपील टू यू, इफ पॉसिबल, नॉट इफ पॉसिबल, इट इज पॉसिबल, आप भी एंटरप्रेन्योर बनने का कोशिश करो। नौकरी के पीछे मत भागो। तो नौकरी के पीछे भागते थे, इफ यू जस्ट गो बिहाइंड द जॉब, तो आप सीईओ बन सकते हैं मैक्सिमम। नाउ देयर इज एम्पल ऑफ अपॉर्चुनिटी टू बिकम एंटरप्रेन्योर। देखो, अगर हम भी नौकरी के पीछे पड़ते तो आपके सामने आप भाषण देने के लिए वेंकटप्पा जी हमको नहीं बुलाते, देसाई जी। तो मेरे घर में मुझे बोलते थे, मेरे घर में सब एम्प्लॉयज है, मैं तो पॉलिटिकल परिवार से मैं नहीं हूं, आई एम नॉट फ्रॉम पॉलिटिकल फैमिली, वी कम फ्रॉम ए ऑर्डिनरी पुअर फैमिली। जब मेरा ग्रेजुएशन हो गया, मुझे घर में बोलना शुरू कर दिया, अप्लाई करो, अप्लाई करो, अप्लाई करो। मनी ऑर्डर, वो पोस्टल ऑर्डर था, पोस्टल ऑर्डर के लिए 1 रुपए 2 रुपए रहता था, 2-3 रुपए मेरे पिताजी मुझे देते थे, मैं इधर उधर खर्चा करके घर जाता था, एप्लीकेशन ही नहीं डालता था। मेरे घर में चिंता हो गया था, बर्बाद हो गया लड़का, इसे समझ के मेरे छोड़ दिया अंत में। लेकिन आई डिसाइडेड, I told one day to my father, I will not go to the either government or any private job, I will start my own industry. And today I am very proud to say, a person coming from ordinary background where there was banks were not ready to finance, you see, you think of 35 years, there are so many people who have done wonderful job, I am a very small, but जब एडवाइस देते हैं ना, खुद का थोड़ा एक्सपीरियंस बोलने से, नहीं तो ये तो उद्री भाषण देते हैं, इसे बोलते हैं हमारा उत्तर कर्नाटक में। मैं उद्री भाषण नहीं दे रहा हूं। टुडे वी हैव एम्प्लॉयड मोर देन 700 पीपल। तो मुझे बहुत प्रेशर था, तो इसलिए ग्रेजुएट बनने के बाद There is a lot of opportunity because you are all brilliant minds. आप जैसा इंटेलिजेंट हम कभी भी नहीं थे, फिर भी हम सक्सेस हुआ गए, तो हमसे 10 गुना आप सक्सेस हो सकते हैं. देश के लिए जॉब देने का काम आप करो. There is a lot of opportunity. And today, India is focusing on many things. Digital India. Things are being changed and there is a lot of opportunity. इससे पहले हमारे देश का पूरा मोबाइल हैंडसेट जो आप यूज करते हैं, that were being imported. 97% of our handsets were imported before 14. Today we are exporting. Today we are exporting the handset, and there were 2 manufacturing units in India at that time. Today there are more than 200 manufacturing units of handset in the country today. The highest ever export has been taken place. The highest ever foreign direct investment is taking place. Record. तो ये सब चीज मैंने इसलिए कह रहा हूं, अभी ग्रेजुएशन करके बाहर जाके किसी के कंपनी में काम करने का जरूरत नहीं है. भारत में बहुत बड़ा अपॉर्चुनिटी मिलने वाला है, और जो दुनिया चाहते हैं, वॉट एवर नीड्स ऑफ द वर्ल्ड, दैट नीड्स हैज टू बी फुलफिल्ड इन इंडिया. बिकॉज दुनिया में एक तो ब्रिलियंट माइंड का भी कमी हो रहा है, और काम करने के लिए जो हाथ रहना चाहिए वो भी कम हो रहा है. And our demographic dividend is becoming opportunity now in a way. I am not telling that population बढ़ते ही जाना, ये तो मेरा ओपिनियन है, लेकिन जो है, we are the youngest country of the world today. We should not forget it. And our people are ready to work because हमारा कल्चर में भारतीय संस्कृति जो है, ये भारतीय संस्कृति में हमको ऑनेस्टली काम करने का सिखाने का अपने आप एक व्यवस्था है. घर में भी जो हमारा बर्थडे से लेके जो कुछ भी छोटा छोटा कार्यक्रम होता है, उसमें ऑनेस्टली काम करने का ऑटोमेटिकली एक संस्कार हमको मिलता है. एक तो हार्ड वर्किंग हमारा नेचर में है, हमारे माइंड, हमारे जो यंग माइंड है, हमारे पॉपुलेशन का जो सोच है, हमारे पॉपुलेशन का जो इंटेलिजेंट कोशिया है, दैट IQ is excellent, and we have got great opportunities, and this IIT Dharwad is going to become a new hub, and you have been graduated here and you will have a big opportunity in your life. I am quite confident. मैं ये भी आपको कहना चाहता हूं, हमारा ये श्याम सुंदर जी हमारे पास बहुत बार आते रहते हैं. मैं कोल मंत्रालय को हेड करता हूं. मैं एक निवेदन करना चाहता हूं. एक कोल गैसिफिकेशन का एक चर्चा दुनिया में चल रहा है, बिकॉज वी हैव इनफ कोल. तो हमारे देश में अभी अगर हम ऑयल का क्रूड ऑयल का सोचते हैं, मीन्स पेट्रोलियम प्रोडक्ट का सोचते हैं, तो हम इंपोर्ट करते हैं, हम मान सकते हैं. लेकिन हम कोल का भी इंपोर्ट करते थे. देश का दौर्भाग्य देखो जी, मैंने जब कोयला मंत्रालय के जिम्मेदारी संभालने का शुरू किया, मैंने हमारे अधिकारियों को पूछा हमारे पास कोयला कितना है. जो ऑलरेडी एक्सप्लोर हुआ है उसमें ही अब अगर हम माइनिंग करते हैं तो 300 साल के लिए हमारे पास कोयला है. मैंने पूछा इंपोर्ट क्यों करते हैं? सर, पॉलिसी प्रॉब्लम है. मोदी जी के मार्गदर्शन में हमने पॉलिसी चेंज करके टुडे इन 25-26 India will stop totally importing of the coal, and we will become Atmanirbhar in that. So when we are going to become Atmanirbhar in that, and we have so much of natural resource, हमारे भूगर्भ में इतना बड़ी संपत्ति है, वो संपत्ति के उपयोग करने के लिए हमको लेस पोल्यूटिंग कैसे करना है, ये सोचने के लिए एक चर्चा चल रहा है. हमको कोल गैसिफिकेशन करना है. कोल गैसिफिकेशन से बहुत प्रोडक्ट्स, गैस सहित बहुत प्रोडक्ट्स, सिन गैस से लेके बहुत प्रोडक्ट निकलते हैं. उसके लिए रिसर्च करने के लिए हम कोशिश अभी शुरू किया है. उसके लिए पैसा भी दे रहे हैं. अगर आईआईटी धारवाड़ इसमें कुछ करना चाहते हैं तो कोल पीएसयू से हम आपको पैसा देने के लिए तैयार है, इसमें आप रिसर्च करिए, वी विल प्रोवाइड यू द फंड एंड लेट अस ट्राई टू मेक दिस कंट्री बाय 2047. देखो दुनिया में प्री वर्ल्ड वॉर, आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू टेक मच ऑफ योर टाइम, बट एट द एंड आई एम गोइंग टू टेल यू the pre World War II, the world order was different. Post World War, World War II, the world order was different. Before World War II, England was leading, Britishers were leading. Post World War, US and USSR were leading. USSR collapsed, then US was leading. I am going to assure him from this new hall for the first time where the convocation is being held today, I am assuring you the post-COVID, today how India is going ahead, how India is marching, on that basis, I am going to assure you, having participated in policy making very actively, I am assuring you today, मैं आपको आश्वस्त करना चाहता हूं, पोस्ट कोविड जो वर्ल्ड वॉर चेंज हो रहा है उसमें बहुत ही कम समय में भारत इज गोइंग टू लीड, इंडिया इज गोइंग टू लीड एंड द वर्ल्ड ऑर्डर जो चेंज होता है भारत उसमें फ्रंट लाइन में रहेंगे. इसके लिए आपका योगदान देश के लिए महत्वपूर्ण है, क्योंकि जो आईआईटी में पढ़ते हैं आपका माइंड बहुत ब्रिलियंट होता है, इंटेलिजेंट रहता है, लेकिन ये इंटेलिजेंट आप देश के लिए भी, आपके फैमिली के लिए भी, आपके स्वयं के लिए उपयोग करो. मैं आपको बहुत बहुत शुभकामना देता हूं और आपका सक्सेसफुल जीवन का प्रार्थना करते हुए मेरे वाणी को विराम देता हूं. धन्यवाद. जय हिंद.
Dhanyawad Mahoday for your address. The award of medals by the chief guest, Professor P. Balram, will commence now. I request the chief guest to kindly step forward. The President of India Gold Medal is awarded to the most outstanding of all the students who completed the requirements for the degree of Bachelor of Technology for the batch 2019-2023. It goes to Sri T. Satvik. Sir, I will request Chairperson Sir Desai. The Director's Gold Medal is awarded to the most outstanding student in terms of general proficiency, academic performance, curricular, co-curricular, and extracurricular activities, social service, and others. For the batch 2019 and 2023, it goes to Sushri Kushi Yagnik. Dhanyawad Mahoday. The Institute Silver Medal is awarded to the most outstanding of all the students who have completed the academic requirements for the award of BTech degree in a particular branch. For the Computer Science and Engineering batch 2019 to 2023, it goes to Sri Karthik Kancharla in absentia. For the electrical engineering batch, of 2019 and 2023, it goes to Sri Suryavinoy Kar in absentia. For the mechanical engineering batch of 2019 to 2023, it goes to Sri Maisa Arshit in absentia. The distribution of cash awards by the guest of honor, Sri Prahlad Joshi sir, will commence. I request the guest of honor, of course, to step forward. Om Prakash Goyal and Sevati Devi Goyal Award for the most outstanding girl student who has completed the requirements for the degree of Bachelor of Technology. For the batch 2019 to 2023, it goes to Sushri Bhavani M. Madbavi. धन्यवाद महोदय. धन्यवाद.
I request the respected chairperson of our Institute's Board of Governors to kindly deliver his speech, introduce our Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. P. Balaram, and invite him to deliver his convocation address.
Good afternoon and warm welcome to all of you, students, particularly parents, faculty, and our guests of honor and chief guest. Welcome to the fourth convocation of IIT Dharwad. As all of you are witnessing this, we are particularly honored to have in our midst today Shri Prahlad Joshi, Honorable Union Minister for Parliamentary Affairs, Coal and Mines, and Member of Parliament from Dharwad. Your speech was very inspiring, sir, and your offer to the Institute to actively take up research in coal gasification is most welcome. And I'm sure as the Board of Governors, we will immediately pursue it without taking the director's permission. Although we discussed it at yesterday's board meeting, you have very kindly on a side chat agreed to also seriously consider setting up a center for research in minerals and rare earths, which is under your ministry. So we will. Correct. Thank you. That we've got. So we've got a double whammy now. You have got the Union Minister, in a sense, steering towards IIT Dharwad, two important centers, one for coal gasification research and one for mineral and rare earths. So we will give you the proposal at the earliest, sir. Thank. इधर आइए सर.
मेरे तरफ से ऑफर है, लेकिन तुरंत जनवरी फरवरी में चुनाव अनाउंस होता है.
हमने कल
सुनो, उससे पहले आप मुझे 1 महीने में प्रोजेक्ट दे दो, मैं आपको पैसा दिलाने का जिम्मेदारी मेरा है. ठीक है, नेक्स्ट टर्म भी हम ही रहेंगे, फिर भी तो
आपको और ऊंचा पोर्टफोलियो मिलेगा.
मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में हम ही रहेंगे, लेकिन पोर्टफोलियो क्या होता है पता नहीं, इसीलिए मुझे अभी दे दो तुरंत. 1 सप्ताह में आप दे दो, मैं 1 महीने में आपको पैसा दिलाता हूं.
So friends, we've got 2 new growth vectors in the Institute as of now, and you've been witness to this great growth story. Professor Venkappa Desai and the team here, he has given us a challenge. Proposal ready hai, chale. Okay. It's a particular honor to have in our midst today also a very, very interesting and a very distinguished chief guest and a very wonderful human being, Professor Padmanabhan Balaram, who is a renowned Indian biochemist and former director of the Indian Institute of Science, Bengaluru. He is a recipient of the Padma Shri in the year 2002 and Padma Bhushan, the third highest civilian honor in the country, in 2014 for science and engineering. Presently, he is holding the chair professorship at the National Center for Biological Sciences at Bangalore. Sir, it is an honor to have you in our midst. Having interacted with him over dinner and breakfast the last 2 days, not only is he such an eminent educationist, scientist, administrator, but a wonderful human being. And I think that matters to all of us. It is also a matter of great pleasure to have all of you, faculty, staff, invitees, media, students, and parents in our midst, as Praladji has also said, and the director has also said, at a historic event where in the life of an IIT, this is the first convocation in the new campus. It's a historic moment that you, and there is one person who has directed this campus. It could have been first, Karnataka did not have an IIT, and second, it is in Dharwad. Like Kon Banega Crorepati type question, can you guess the name of the person who directed this IIT at Dharwad? He's sitting in our midst. If it wasn't for Prahlad Joshi sir, you would not have had an IIT in Dharwad. He directed this year. Professor Balram, thank you for accepting our kind invitation for gracing the occasion. We are truly honored to have you in this convocation, sir, and your multifaceted personality as an eminent biochemist, renowned institution builder, and able administrator is well known. Your life's work is a true inspiration and motivation to the young generation who will be graduating today. We hope there are young Balramans sitting in the audience with your blessings. We are all happy to note that you're a recipient of the highly honored recognitions such as the Bhatnagar Prize in 1986, TWAS Prize in 1994, and the R. Bruce Merrifield Award from the American Peptide Society in 2021. We also would like to mention that this is an interesting point, many of our faculty members have their degree certificates bearing your signatures. Our sincere thanks to, as I said, to Shri Prahlad Joshi for his efforts in bringing IIT to Karnataka and to Dharwad, and for getting the Prime Minister with an extremely busy schedule for Joshi ji to have actually made the necessary organizational arrangements to have the Prime Minister inaugurate IIT Dharwad. Without that, in those times, his schedule was crazily busy, but he did take time off to inaugurate and bless the institute. IIT Dharwad is making all efforts on all fronts in consonance with the national education policy to make it a premier institution of the 21st century. And as our Honorable Prime Minister has always reminded us that the IITs should not just be institutes of technology, but should be institutes of transformation. And I'm sure with the help of the faculty and all of you, we will see IIT Dharwad assert its rightful place as an institute of transformation. My compliments to the director, Professor Venkappa Desai, and his team of committed staff and faculty for their efforts. Many of them are sitting on stage and many of them are in the audience. I would also like to recognize the contribution of the members of the Board of Governors. Many of my distinguished colleagues are on the dais. They have given regularly at board meetings, given excellent ideas. And to all the members of the Board of Governors, the Finance Committee, the Senate, and a particularly strong recognition to Nagesh ji, who chaired the Building and Works Committee for delivering this campus on time and on cost. Nagesh ji, please stand up. Well, that ends my short speech. I request the chief guest of today, Professor Balram, to give his convocation address. Thank you.
Shri Vinayak Chatterjee, Chairman, Board of Governors, the guest of honor, Shri Prahlad Joshi, Honorable Minister for Parliamentary Affairs, Coal and Mines, Government of India, Professor V.R. Desai, members of the Board of Governors, members of the Senate, members of the faculty, staff, distinguished guests, and most importantly, the graduating students of 2023 and their families. First of all, let me begin by congratulating each and every one of you on successfully completing your degrees and once again congratulating all those who have won medals. It's a privilege for me to deliver this address at the fourth convocation of IIT Dharwad at its new campus. It's always a privilege to visit the IITs, old and new, as they represent the great progress the country has made since independence in the sphere of higher technical education. I am, however, departing from the text that I prepared to say that it's a very difficult act for me to follow Sri Prahlad Joshi ji. He spoke with a vigor and passion which I cannot match. And to have watched Sri Vinayak Chatterjee now successfully get commitments from a union minister for funds for an IIT was quite remarkable. I am a much simpler person. Yours is a very young institution. I spent all my active professional years in one of India's oldest institutions, the Indian Institute of Science, which is now 114 years old. That is a period which has seen some of the most dramatic transformations in science, technology, and human history. Looking back at the 20th century, those of us who have lived through the second half could scarcely have imagined how the world would change in our lifetimes. When invited by Professor Desai to join all of you on this most important day, I wondered what I should say. I have been a scientist cloistered in the laboratories of the Indian Institute of Science most of my professional life. I still spend my time in retirement amongst the scientists at the National Center for Biological Sciences and teach whenever I can. Speaking after the guest of honor, Shri Prahlad Joshi, I read his introduction very carefully. I realized that he had interests in classical music and in cricket. Following him, I feel like an amateur singer following either M.S. Subbulakshmi or Gangubai Hangal, or like a new entrant to the Indian team batting after Virat Kohli has made one of his immortal innings. So I hope you will forgive me if I don't quite match the passion and vigor which we've heard so far. Why is science important? I want you to remember that it is the scientific advances of the last 2 centuries that have driven the modern technological revolution. I'm also aware, as undoubtedly most of you are aware, that the last 3 years have seen an upsurge in public awareness of science, driven by the coronavirus and the COVID-19 pandemic. There are terms like RT-PCR, rapid antigen tests, aerosol transmission, mRNA vaccines, and mathematical modeling of viral transmission are terms that are now commonly used in discussions between those unaware of the language of science. I want you also to remember another thing, that a microscopic particle, 90 nanometers in diameter, the SARS-CoV-2 virus, has brought the world to its knees for over 2 years. Despite all the progress in science and technology over the 20th century, especially in biomedicine, the coronavirus, the COVID-19 pandemic, lasted for almost the same length of time as the influenza pandemic of 1918. 56 years ago, when I graduated from the Ferguson College in Pune and went out into the world with a BSc degree, it was indeed a different world. 37 years ago, when I reached the high point of any academic career, admission to the professorial rank, the world around me was still as it was in the 1960s. But in this interregnum, unknown to me, major revolutions were underway in science and technology. These upheavals spanned a range of disciplines: genome sequencing and genetic engineering in biology, the explosion of computer technologies, and the communications revolution. The internet, Google, and the cell phone have forever transformed the way we live. These technological advances, remember, rested on fundamental breakthroughs in physics, chemistry, biology, material science, mathematics, and computer science, often the results of many decades of painstaking research. Rarely were they that blinding flash of insight that often makes science look glamorous and romantic from the outside. I want you to think of gene sequencing technologies, reflect on the lithium battery so central to our lives today, or the electronic processors that drive all our devices, and many more. You will realize science and technology are inseparable. Even the seeds of Google's PageRank algorithm can be found in the scientific literature of the 1950s, when Eugene Garfield laid the foundations for the web of science and ushered in the age of scientometrics. I have been a scientist all my life, and sometimes I've been asked the question, what is science? I have responded that science is the study of nature. If you're talking to children, that leads to another question, what is nature? The best answer that I found was in an editorial that appeared in the very first volume of the journal Nature. That was in 1869. It was the first issue of the journal. The famous biologist Thomas Huxley was invited to write the editorial. Huxley did not write the editorial. Instead, he translated an essay in German written in the mid-18th century by the German poet von Goethe. In the poet's words, nature, we are surrounded and embraced by her, powerless to penetrate beyond her and powerless to separate ourselves from her. I'm sure the sentiment has been expressed in the classical languages many, many centuries earlier. But Huxley's English translation is what really was accessible to me. Think of the subjects that you've studied in school. Physics and biology are with you all the time, even though you may not choose to recognize the fact. Nothing in the world around you, including yourselves, is divorced from chemistry. Of mathematics, I can do no better than remind you that Galileo is reported to have once remarked that mathematics is the language in which God wrote the universe. Paraphrasing Galileo, I might add, chemistry is the language in which nature wrote the book of life. The biochemist Arthur Kornberg described chemistry as the lingua franca of the biological and medical sciences. It is one of the sad facts, and here I depart from my text and I address this to the Union Minister. It's one of the sad facts of the Indian higher education system that the basic sciences are absent in basic medical education. Despite the fact that many, many medical colleges have been opened all over India, we have not paid enough attention to the medical curriculum and what is necessary for biomedical research to be practiced in the years to come. Science requires tools, and sometimes we underestimate the role of technology in developing science. The theoretical physicist Freeman Dyson once noted that science is often driven by new technologies rather than by new concepts. In the 17th century, two inventions, the telescope and the microscope, forever altered our view of the world. When Galileo pointed the telescope skywards, he opened the field of cosmology, till then restricted by human vision. When Leeuwenhoek examined water under his microscope, he discovered organisms, living organisms, too small to be seen by the naked eye. He had uncovered the vast science of microbiology, a field which has really impacted public consciousness in the years of the pandemic. In the 20th century, separated by a span of 7 decades, two discoveries revolutionized medicine. Both came from physics. The first was Röntgen's discovery of X-rays at the dawn of the 20th century. The second Paul Lauterber's imaging of two concentric tubes of water in the 1970s using nuclear magnetic resonance in inhomogeneous magnetic fields. This was the birth of magnetic resonance imaging. MRI. Everybody uses MRI today. Any radiology department rests on two techniques now, really, X-rays and MRI. Can there be better examples to argue the case for basic science? Interdisciplinary science, engineering, and manufacturing were the key elements in ensuring that the fruits of fundamental physics reach the clinic. Generations of patients have benefited from these techniques. Much of modern technology that all of us take for granted is the product of 2 centuries of scientific advance in physics, chemistry, and biology. Remember that the basic sciences, often neglected in our professional institutions, form the foundations for technological progress. If you're in the electrical sciences, I deliberately avoid the term engineering, despite the fact that the Indian Institute of Science is almost equally divided between science and engineering. We call our divisions electrical sciences, mechanical sciences, and so on. What I want you to do is pay homage to Michael Faraday and James Maxwell. If you're in the computer sciences, remember that the element silicon is as critical to modern information technology as the element carbon is to life. Look with wonder at Mendeleev's periodic table. The famous neurologist and writer Oliver Sacks called the periodic table the enchanted garden of Mendeleev. It is the periodic table now which is the subject of educational controversies in India. Should it be taught in 10th class or should it be taught in 11th class? We need lithium. If we need lithium for our batteries, and the Honorable Minister has already spoken about rare earths, we need rare earths for all our technologies. Remember Mendeleev and the periodic table. If you're a chemical or mechanical engineer, remember Willard Gibbs. Thermodynamics forms the foundation of these sciences. Do not forget Ludwig Boltzmann and the origins of the ideas of entropy, which are to be seen even in Claude Shannon's now immortal work, which laid the foundation for information science and technology. Oswald Avery, in 1943, discovered DNA as the material substance responsible for the transfer of genetic information in biology. The Watson-Crick double helix provided the missing link between the 19th century pillars of biology, genetics, and evolution. DNA is a term that even politicians use in public speeches. It is a tribute to an acronym that is pregnant with meaning. When those members of Mr. Joshi's party use the word DNA, they know what it means. When the members of the opposition use the word DNA, they know what it means. DNA has entered, and it is from science that the term DNA has come. I could go on, but on a day when you celebrate your education, I can only say one thing, and I have learned this in retirement. There is much to learn. Among those who ceaselessly marvel at the wonders of nature, we've asked the question, where did everything that we see around us, where did it come from? This leads to questions which cannot always be answered. Questions on the origins of the universe, questions on the origins of life on Earth. Remember one thing, all the natural elements in Mendeleev's periodic table were the Earth's inheritance when it was born. Nucleosynthesis is the prerogative of the stars, our sun amongst them. In his magisterial survey of the ascent of man, Jacob Bronowski, a theoretical physicist, describes the formation of carbon, so essential for life. I quote, "In all the stars there are going on processes which build up the atoms one by one into more complex structures. Matter itself evolves. The word comes from Darwin and biology, but it is the word that changed physics in my lifetime." Bronowski goes on to reflect on the formation of carbon. Happens when 3 helium nuclei collide at 1.1 millionth of a second, a billionth of a second. Every carbon atom in every living creature on this planet is the result of such a wildly improbable collision. Life and biology are indeed improbable, a chance event in our solar system's evolutionary history. I quote the famous biologist from France, Jacques Monod, who said, "The universe was not pregnant with life, nor the biosphere with man. Our number came up in the Monte Carlo game." After centuries of science, can one list its most important achievements? As freshly minted graduates and young faculty tempered by experience, you might as well try. But here I must quote the always eminently quotable physicist, Richard Feynman. In his introductory lecture, in his now immortal course on undergraduate physics at Caltech, he asks, if in some cataclysm all of scientific knowledge were to be destroyed and only one sentence passed on to the next generation of creatures, what statement would contain the most information in the fewest words? He answers his question. I believe it is the atomic hypothesis, or the atomic fact, or whatever you wish to call it, that all things are made up of atoms, little particles that move around in perpetual motion, and he goes on to discuss the van der Waals force after that. But remember, what was the cataclysm that must have occupied Feynman's thoughts in the 1960s? It was the prospect of nuclear war. Ironically, that prospect appears to have emerged again. In the world of geopolitics, there is little time to wonder about the fragile thread by which life on Earth hangs and the importance of preserving the natural world, which of course includes the human species, even as unsustainable consumption and development threaten the natural order. When Mr. Putin threatens the use of strategic nuclear weapons, he threatens to set in motion the kind of conflict that Feynman imagined in the 1960s. So you must think about it. Human history is often taught as a succession of centuries of unremitting conflict, with every age introducing ever more powerful technologies of war, all of them products of an ever-improving understanding of the material world. Remember that the rockets which now take you into outer space first came when Werner von Braun developed rockets for trying to launch the V-2 rockets so that they would hit London during the dying years of the Second World War. Science and technology based on this very same understanding have also driven the course of human history, shaping cultures and civilizations. The 20th century began with Planck and the quantum, catalyzing a frenetic pace of advance in physics and chemistry over much of the decades that followed. The revolution in biology began in the mid-1950s, quietly at first when the structure of the gene was revealed, but grew into an unstoppable flow of information, culminating in the first human genome sequence announced as the 21st century was born. Today, DNA sequences from fossils, ancient DNA, are being used to trace the origins of the human species and the migrations of our ancestors across Earth. This early human history, prehistory, requires the confluence of many disciplines: archaeology, paleontology, molecular biology, and computer science among them. The methods of genomics allow us to go even further back in time and as we ask questions about the evolution of life on Earth. I leave you with just a thought that the formation of our universe, our sun, our solar system, and our planet must have come first. In the over 4.5 billion years of the Earth's existence, human beings, as we might recognize them, have lived only for about 100,000 years. Many questions about chemical evolution, the evolution of single cells, archaea and bacteria, the birth of eukaryotic cells, the oxygenation of the atmosphere after the evolution of photosynthesis about 2 billion years ago, must precede the birth of the first animal life on this planet. We have come a long way since then. In his book, Sapiens, the Israeli historian Yuval Harari traces the evolution of humankind. He asks a question, which I paraphrase. When in the course of human evolution does human behavior begin to disregard biological imperatives, survival and reproduction, that dominate animal behavior, and become increasingly influenced by recent history. In Harari's words, the cognitive revolution is accordingly the point at which history declared its independence from biology. The cognitive revolution is when your brain developed, your ancestors, their brains developed, we began to think differently from the way animals behave. The immense diversity of imagined realities that sapiens invented and the resultant diversity of behavior patterns are the main components of what we call cultures. Once cultures appeared, they never ceased to change and develop, and these unstoppable alterations are what we call history. From the cognitive revolution to historical narratives replace biological theories as our primary means of explaining the development of Homo sapiens. To understand the rise of Christianity or the French Revolution, it is not enough to comprehend the interaction of genes, hormones, and organisms. It is necessary to take into account the interaction of ideas, images, and fantasies as well. Comparative genomics today tells us that human beings are a minor branch in the tree of life, budding from the broader branch of eukarya. Life on Earth is dominated by the microbial branches, bacteria and archaea. Our closest neighbors are chimpanzees, rats, mice, pigs, horses, cattle, sheep, and dogs. There is a comforting unity in biology. Yet human history, driven by civilizational influences and the evolution of culture, appears to be sadly divisive. What you must realize from the last 3 to 4 years, 2020 January onwards, the coronavirus has breached all political, religious, and ethnic boundaries, reminding us that politics and religion, two of our favorite pastimes worldwide, afford no protection against the force of nature. Why do I draw your attention to such a disparate group of subjects? It is because of the environment, climatic, social, and political, in which we live today. Some reflections on the role of science in understanding nature may allow us to introspect on the course of human history and attempt to rationalize why the world today is the way it is. Science is a deeply humbling subject, and every day we are reminded of our imperfect understanding of even the subjects of our daily research. It is this humility that is important in any sphere of human activity. Learning is a continuous and never-ending process and does not cease with your graduation day as you go out into the wider world. Every speaker at a convocation is expected to give advice to the graduating class. I, of course, will not do so because over a long life I have learned that it is generally not useful to give advice to anybody, but let everybody evolve. It's a word which I like, evolve under the influence of their own environment. But in your environment, remember one thing. It is very important to develop over the course of your life a sense of empathy with all those around you who are much less fortunate than you and I have been as far as our lives have been concerned. There are two qualities that will stand you in good stead in whatever you wish to do. One is resilience and the other is imagination. In research and indeed in many other walks of life, failure is more common than success. Overcoming the fear of failure is often the first step towards success. Nowhere was this better illustrated than in the reaction of the Indian Space Research Organization to the failure of Chandrayaan-2, which actually led to the success of Chandrayaan-3. You learn a great deal from your failure. But in concluding, I must say one thing, that when we look back on all the progress that has taken place over my long life, I say that we need to pay greater attention to marking the contributions of those who have preceded us. The Indian Space Research Organization is what it is today because of two individuals, both of whom passed away a long time ago. Vikram Sarabhai, prematurely in the year 1971, suddenly, when the space organization was just being born. So the space organization was left orphaned. The man who had conceived it left them. The lander is named as Vikram. But we must remember, because I come from the Indian Institute of Science, Satish Dhawan. Satish Dhawan then became the adopted father of the Indian Space Research Organization. And over the next decade and a half, he built the organization to what it is today. And I think today, as ISRO basks in the glory of its success, we must pay a tribute to Professor Dhawan, who also led the Indian Institute of Science for almost 2 decades as its director. And he was one of my most distinguished predecessors. I have come from the Indian Institute of Science, and I owe my entire career to the Indian Institute of Science. Here I must tell you that the IITs, the old IITs, have a long association with the Indian Institute of Science. The director of the first IIT at Kharagpur, Nyan Chandra Ghosh, was director of the Indian Institute of Science before he moved to become the first director of IIT Kharagpur. Professor P.K. Kelkar, who was the project officer setting up IIT Bombay, and he did such a good job that he was appointed as the director of IIT Kanpur and sent to Kanpur to set up IIT Kanpur, was an alumnus of the Indian Institute of Science in the Electrical Communication Engineering Department. He was born in Dharwad. Now, P.K. Kelkar is another man who has sort of been forgotten over the years as the years have passed. But we must remember them on a day like this, when you can see that the origins of these institutions are not in the last few years. The origin of these institutions goes back decades while people have been thinking about what to do in India. For example, the Board of Scientific and Industrial Research, which eventually metamorphosed into the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, was set up even before independence. There have been generations of Indians before us who have contributed to the fruits that we all enjoy today. The only piece of advice that I might give you when I end is let your imagination take you forward. It has been a privilege to address you, and may I wish you all the very best in the years to come.
Dhanyavad Mahoday for your address. The conferment of a Doctor of Philosophy degree will commence now. Now commence. The recipients of degree of Doctor of Philosophy may please rise.
Dhanya Mahodaya, I present to you the candidates, including those in absentia, who have completed the prescribed course of study and have been found fit for the award of said degree, and pray that they be admitted.
Yeah, by virtue of the authority vested in me, I admit you to the award of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy of IIT Dharwad and charge you to be worthy of the same.
All candidates may please be seated. All PhD graduates are requested to collect their degree certificates as their names are called.
The graduates of the Doctor of Philosophy program are as follows. Prajna Parimita Chayani, Monica Bai, MG, Anjal Kumar, Kotakunda Chakrabarti.
The conferment of Master of Science by Research degree will now commence. The recipients of degree of Master of Science by Research may please rise.
By virtue of the authority vested in me as Chairperson Senate, I admit you to the award of the degree of Master of Science of IIT Dharwad and charge you to be worthy of the same.
All candidates may please be seated. All MS graduates are requested to collect their degree certificates as their names are called.
The graduates of the Master of Science program are as follows. Ayush Agarwal, Jayan S, Praveen Kumar, Faim Ul Haq, Roy, Jyoti Shukla, Arvind Lakshman Pandit.
The conferment of Bachelor of Technology degree will now commence. The recipients of the degree of Bachelor of Technology may please rise.
Mahodaya, I present to you the candidates, including those in absentia, who have completed the prescribed course of study and have been found fit for the award of the said degree, and pray they be admitted.
By virtue of the authority vested in me as Chairperson Senate, I admit you to the award of the degree of Bachelor of Technology of IIT Dharwad and charge you to be worthy of the same.
All candidates may please be seated. All BTech graduates are requested to collect their degree certificates as their names are called.
The graduates of Bachelor in Computer Science and Engineering program are as follows. Asim Ali Khan, Abhilash Kandam, Adarsh Kumar Amin N, Anirudh Moruganti, Ankit Kumar, Arun R. Bhatt, Attipati Venkata Siva Sai, Boka Uday Kiran, Chalamala Ananya, Cheriala Rohit, Chunduri Manohar, Divyanshu Mohan Nagrale, Dongre Deepankar Vijay, EJVS BS Satvik God, Harish RT, Harsh Kumar, Okuntla Shivani, Manav Wahak, Mohammad Samir, Munigala Vamshi, Rampalli Pranav, Newton Anand Gopal Khopadhyay, Neer Bikhubai Babaria, Omkar Yaneshwar Jadhav, Mani Teja Gaddam, Sa Bindu Kiran, Ujjwal Joshi, Pranav Mahavir Kanire, Satish Manoj Jain, P. Gautam Sai, Rajarapu Lakshmi Monika, Rathore Dinesh, Satvik Mishra, Singh Saloni Yashwant, Ansh Gupta, Shila Sandhya, Yeradodi Yashwant Reddy, Akshat, Ayush Gupta, Mayank Mittal, P. Satvik, Chikolu Karunakar,
Graduates of the Bachelor in Electrical Engineering program are as follows: Ajay Singh Jorwal, Akshay Kiran Jose, Mi Shetty Sivani, Ankit Kumar, Ashutosh, Atul Singh, Bandi Sai Prakash, Bhavani A. Madhvavi, Chauhan Udit Dattatray, Chirag J. Maragal, Deepak Yadav, Hari Om Meena, Junnakuti Pramod Kumar Reddy, Kale Mandar Sunil, Mandem Pramod Kaushik. Manoj Mahavar. Meher Rituja. Nampalli Aditya Vardhan. Neville Thomas Sebastian. Maritla Charan Teja. Odi Shetty Ramya. Pratik Chawla. Rajan Uma Venkata Kaushik. Revdi Amba Gnana Tejasvi. Rohit Kaur. Shreya RH. Tiyagura Satya Hemant Reddy. Udandarao Surya Nitesh. Ashish Akash. Aradi Rahul Gautam. Unnaganti Sirisha Devi.
Graduates of the Bachelor in Mechanical Engineering program as follows. Abhinav Soni, Akul Ashish Kumar, Annaldas Srinivas Prasad, Dalpet Chowdhury, Nanyasi Praneeth, Dharam Singh Meena, Vida, Geo Amruta Praveen, Harish Kumar Lakshmikant Gajakosh, Arshal Rai Anand, Kanwaldeep Edward, Aru Jagadish, Kushi Agnik, Nikhilesh Suryaban Balpande, Megawat Srihari, Muhammad Yusuf Barkati, P. Sarvana Kumar, Palaju Prajwal, Princess Chaudhary, Prithviraj DJ, Rakshit S, Ratnaparke Saurabh Rajendra, Siddharth Patra, Sumed Singh Bhagwan Singh Rajput, Vaibhav Mishra, Vedant Shukla, Veeravalli Pramod Rahul, Yusuf Turabi.
The President of India, gold medalist, will now administer the pledge. All degree recipients to please stand and take the pledge.
वयं धारवाडस्य भारतीयप्रौद्योगिकी संस्थानस्य स्नातकाः प्रतिज्ञां कुर्मः यत् वयं व्यवसायिरूपेण अस्माकम् उत्तरदायित्वेषु प्रामाणिकतां पालयितुं सर्वदा प्रयत्नरताः भवेम। वयं संस्थायाः कीर्तिं गौरवं च वर्धयन्तः देशस्य सेवायै जनानां हिताय च अस्माकं ज्ञानस्य सदुपयोगं कुर्मः। सर्वासु अपि परिस्थितिषु व्यक्तेः महत्त्वस्य एवं व्यवसायस्य च प्रतिष्ठाम् अनवरतं संरक्षितुं प्रतिबद्धाः स्मः। Thank you.
Everyone may please be seated. I request the respected chairperson of our Institute Board of Governors to declare the convocation closed.
Thank you, everybody. I declare the fourth convocation of IIT Dharwad closed. Thank you.
I request everyone to kindly stand up for the national anthem. All are requested to remain standing till the academic procession leaves the auditorium. धन्यवाद. Exit is from the back side. You all can take a back doors.